Hello and welcome to a new video on this channel. In this one we're gonna see some of the coolest and most high-tech turbo cars drag racing and see them in pits and details about them, and this is at the World Cup Finals event in Maryland, USA. I already posted some videos some time ago with the 4-cylinder fastest in the world and the Lamborghini there, but I have so much more footage and so much more good information about these cars. I'm sneaking around in the pits, looking on the cars, and also on the drag strip, seeing them launch and go away. Actually, this event was the thing that made me build my car, my tube chassis car with V10. I built approved for 60 seconds. Before this I was not into thinking building a drag car, but after this event I got the thinking of building a drag car. Not four-wheel drive at that time, but yeah. Anyway, this video may be a little bit rough in the editing and it may be long, but it has very good information, and I had a lot of footage here on the computer, so I want to give it out to you guys. I'm trying to see how the cars are built and operated and try to learn of it, and I hope also you can learn from this. Here one team is working. They got one 2J car with the block over there. See if you can see it. And this is a Rotor Car. Yeah, the billet engine here. It's a Titan by Expert 2JC, and yeah, the broken sleeve here, as you can see. So unfortunate. Yep, so they have a spare block, so they will replace it, and yeah, it will be possible to repair this one, weld it, and put some new sleeves in. So yeah, these are some steel sleeves. Also, we can see here on the pistons that it's pretty high compression on it, but I think they need to remove some equipment to bring over to the other block. Cylinder head is the cast 2JC one. I think the engine, when bolted on, it's about, yeah, looks like 7 bolts on the upper part, nothing here in the bottom to the engine plate there. For the ECU of the car, maybe it is this one, I'm not sure. Never heard of it before. Injector Pro. They had some pick and hold injector drivers there, because I think it's yeah, some really big injectors in these ones. The cylinder had got damaged there as well, but it did not drop a valve. So yeah, it was the cylinder sleeve that failed there. You can see these two cylinders, Ferrera valves there, and yeah, I think they have using some kind of firing. Also very big cylinder head studs there compared to what the stock ones is. So here also we have the dry sump pump, and I think the fuel pump is in the back of that one. So that's shitty. I hope they can repair and come back later on. Here's another car that is using the engine hoist, and they're removing the engine here. This one, valve covers is out, but yeah, it's a 2J in this one as well, billet block, another brand here, and big precision turbo, and yeah, also on this one, big intake manifold with a huge throttle body platinum there. Fuel Tech ECUs here, Liberty billet gearbox, looks like. And for these big low impedance injectors, you really need to have these pick and hold injector drivers to get the power for those. And yes, even this team had one billet spare engine here in brand new in box, so I will put it in. So double injectors here on each cylinder, and this Pro J intake manifold, the billet one, split upper and lower piece here, and also this huge throttle body there. Yeah, and as I told it, it's only been the first qualifying pass, and this one had a half-moon turbo here, and they got one engine block here, it was in I think, and maybe the spare one here. So yep, this team also replacing the block after one round here, so interesting. The water tank here is built in together with the intercooler, and yeah, looks like here also we can see the turbo exhaust housing have touched there, so yeah, it's maybe expensive one. They had a write-up. My dad did the proper braking, all that. After the first qualifying pass, they are taking everything apart here, looks like. On this, it's dry sump on these rotors as well, and the dry sump tank we can see here. So I don't know if it's just some service or some work here. Engine is covered up, but yeah, you can see the transmission here. They actually have a separate boost controller, NLR. Didn't know that many people run these still, but yeah, they run them. So not everything is controlled by the ECU. They have separate controllers. Already here on the testing day, but they are working on the engine here already on the testing. So yeah, had the engine out. Yeah, so they have the engine apart here, intake manifold and turbo system, and pieces of the rotary here. So they're actually rebuilding the engine here in the pits. How cool. And this looks like an billet housing here as well. Yeah, I don't know much about rotaries, but here we have the, I think maybe rear housing. It's a billet one, and yeah, they're rebuilding it in like 2 hours, they say. So yeah, they're rebuilding one engine today and putting in there now, looks like, and they're gonna rebuild another engine tomorrow, they say. So yeah, okay, yeah. Intake manifold, and yeah, some small primary injectors here, it looks like, and some big fuel tech. Secondaries maybe. Pro J intake manifold, turbo here. It's making 1200 horsepower, this one. Oh, this is a nice old RX-7. This is a bit newer RX-7. And yeah, now the engine is going in here. Pretty small one, these ones. Pretty handy to work on. It's a 13B, and yeah, these intake is billet ones, and the metal plates here is the original Mazda ones. Two igniter plug on each rotor there. Another beautiful Supra with an water intercooler here, Plasman, with an burst out plate there if it gets too high pressure or back pressure in the intake, Hypertune drag intake manifold there, very short runners, and yeah, the TPS here looks like an Toyota one as well here. Platinum Racing Products. Some really nice sensors here, race grade sensors. Also here on the oil, we have one of these, you can, looks like it's like a pump there, so you can put up the oil pressure without starting the engine. So that's neat. It's a System 1 oil filter there with yeah, this little key there, so you can with a drill make up some oil pressure. Yeah, and I think many guys here, because it's pretty cold this weekend, they have a heater in the oil tank here. So yeah, they plug this in and heat the oil first before they starting the engine. Platinum Racing products, I think they're from Australia, so there's some Australian parts on these ones. Precision turbo, big one, something 90, 100 maybe millimeters, and yeah, it's a billet block on this one. I do not need to say it anymore. Everything here has billet blocks almost. Very special crank dampener here in the front. Never seen that one before. Innovators West Inc. Oh, and yeah, we got a gear here to the dry sump, and yeah, pretty long shaft between the crank dampener and the camshaft belt there. I wonder why. Because yeah, it's a long crankshaft in these 2J engines, so there can be some torsional problems if you don't have a good crank dampener. Looks like there is something inside there because it's bolted together, that one. Yeah, nice pieces on this one. All red, this one. Interesting to see how this one goes on the track. Also, the radiator is back here. Or is it for the... yeah, it looks like for the water. In the front here, it is fuel tank maybe? No, it's the water tank for the intercooler front there. And also this one is left-hand drive, I can see now. Interesting. And yeah, I think the complete chassis is a full race build. Titanium, beautiful welded exhauster, down pipe, side pipe. Here we have a Cody Phillips racing. Cody Phillips, I've seen this car for many years when I've been in US before for the Texas Mile, maybe 2010 for example, and yeah, and TX2K. For this race, he have the 88mm turbo here. They are limited to that one here in this race, and yeah, it's the 2JZ engine in this one. And very interesting here is that even the cylinder head is a billet one. It's an TTR CNC one made in Dubai. Yeah, same place where I bought my intake manifold for my Audi. And yeah, actually billet cylinder head is very complicated. So yeah, they had to do a lot of work with this one to get it all working. And yeah, it's, don't know if it's possible to see, but it's like a split design here, because it's not possible to do everything in casting like it is with casting. So yeah, it's split into several pieces, almost like a Volvo 16 valve head is. But yeah, it looks like all of the fittings. It has where the trigger sensor is the original ones. Even the ignition coils here are the original Toyota Supra ones, but it is some Denso ones here, but the connectors are the original Toyota ones, but he has a CDI ignition, I believe. Very clean and nice engine bay and the car here. It has the dry sump here, but also here in the front of the intake camshaft, it is a vacuum pump actually. I thought first it was a fuel pump. Many have fuel pumps here on the camshaft, but this one is pulling oil and gases out. One stage is actually from the block here, and this one forward stage, it's pulling from the cylinder head. But still, with a lot of pressure and methanol, it is a bit of overpressure in the engine, so it's not able to pull vacuum in the engine in these high horsepower configurations. Also, Cody here are making wiring harness and working with the Motec system, so yeah, it's all very nice connectors here. Autosport one looks like, and Motec ECU in this car. The car is still on individual rear suspension also, so it's not switched over, and no 6s yet this weekend, but hopefully it will come. This Supra here managed to go a 6-second pass just now here, so yeah, this one also beautiful engine bay, billet block, but a cast head, and the Supra in the water box all the way up. So there we are. Also in this one, stock ignition coils and the CDI. Cody Phillips engine harness in this one as well. But this one is having just a dry sump pump, no vacuum pump. Also the Cody Phillips one over there, he had his 5-stage dry sump pump, but still needed the vacuum pump. Up to number. And it is still the stock subframe here, metal one. I know it's possible to buy this one in steel pipes, but still the original one. But the diff is not the Toyota one anymore. Looks like maybe a 9-inch. This is a smart thing. They got a board here where they have all the things they need to do with the car between the rounds. So they check it and cross it off if they had done it. So yeah, that's a good thing. Could be used for drag racing, of course. Could be used for drifting as well. And you know that everything is done between the passes. Last poster, clean detail. Yeah, I don't think that is mandatory, but the other ones, just a slipper, pedal stop, change the spark plugs. Looks like they do every time, or I don't know if some of these posts are daily and some is maybe after each pass. Fuel, fill oil, drain catch, put on charger. Yeah, maybe it's not an alternator on the car, so they need to charge it every time. But that's a smart thing. They have some KW coilovers here. I don't know if they're making anything for drag racing. I don't think so. Never seen them making something specific. They also have a solenoid here, so you can see the travel. Nice aluminum billet upright there, spindle. Huge, really huge intercooler here, air to air, 6-inch maybe wide, and shiny aluminium billet block on this one. And as you can see, it got two shifter cables going in here. It's a manual shifter. Yeah, I think this one is in stick shift as well. very cool. 4-wheel drive. In the rear, it's individual rear suspension. KWs here as well, and I guess all of the mounting points are like the original. We got a sway bar there as well, and it's a completely modified subframe there with the tubes. And this is actually an Eagle Talon, but I think it's almost the same like a Mitsubishi car, but here in US they are called Eagle Talon. Red Demon spec, it says. And I do not know all about these different, I think, famous cars here in US, but this one is maybe the one called Red Demon. TSI AVD, so yeah, it's 4-wheel drive from the beginning, of course. And as this is a manual car, the hardest thing is to get off the line good when releasing the clutch with your left hand foot there. So they have this one, it's a solenoid and a valve here, so you can adjust the amount of slip you got in the first gear. That's why it's the solenoid there, so you only have this activated from standstill or the first gear. I had the same in my Supra many years ago, and that was the thing that made me make solid and good 60 foots. So I used a normal hydraulic valve, but that one was very, very small steps. I think this is Magnus Motorsport. They make one now with a bit better adjustability. You can see they have also some writing on that one, some lines. For the ignition system, they have a CDI box. So this one is having all the sauce, so you can have really small ignition coils. Here it looks like motorcycle ignition coils, ST it says on them. The wires to them very small, but that's the CDI capsule discharge ignition making all the use there for the ignition system. Big turbo there. The engine here, it's a 4G63 engine, they say. So the housing here for the gearbox looks like a pretty original casing. Back is billet, and the transfer case, everything, transfer gear is the billet one. Another one in the stick shift category, I believe this is an Mitsubishi Eclipse, I guess. And this one also have the 4G63 engine here, single turbo, and this one do not have an intercooler. So one thing you can do is that you have some injectors here. This one is actually spraying towards the turbo, so against the flow here, and it's two big Siemens injectors there, and they are injecting, I guess, methanol, and that is cooling the charge instead of an intercooler. Could be a good solution, that one as well, to keep a little bit of the weight down. And here also we have the stock gear casing here with shifter cables going in there. Also the Siemens injectors here for fuel into the engine there. Also this one and most of the 4G63s have the Magnus intake manifold, looks like, and some other pieces here as well. This one looks like a water block here with a temp sensor and pressure sensor here as well. With the pressure sensor, it's a smart thing that you can see the pressure in the water. If it goes up during the passes, that's usually an indication that either it's lifting the head or that the head gaskets is leaking, so you can keep a bit track on that one. If it's just a little bit, it's good to see track if it's getting more and more each pass, but if it's getting a lot of pressure directly, you have blown it, and you could put some safety there to make the car shut off or something like that. By the way, it's the cast iron block in this engine. Also here we have the wastegate. We got a pressure sensor on it, and yeah, maybe it's fed by some high pressure of some sort. But one interesting thing here is that it has double of lambda sensors here from the turbo. Looks like the nicer NTK sensors, NGK NTK sensors, and yeah, 2 of them. Maybe it's for some fail-safe operation, or I don't know really. That's interesting. Also exhaust manifold here, like a slip joint of this one here. So. Here we have an Mazda RX-7, but no rotor in this one because all of the Toyotas have taken the rotary. Instead, we have an Toyota 2JZ 6-cylinder engine in this one, and also here I could see this double lambda sensors after each other. Individual exhaust on each cylinder. It's good if you get a misfire on one cylinder, you can fast and clearly see which cylinder is down, and you have to check the ignition or something like that on the cylinder. They got a trigger here in front of the exhaust camshaft. It's an Cherry Hall effect sensor, a good reliable one, and this sensor with a mount here, I think it's triggered on that bolt. It got one steel bolt a little bit longer than the other one, so I think that is the one sinking the engine. Honda S2000 here. A lot of things going on in the cockpit, and the engine looks like in K series, but it has twin turbos. Very cool. Yeah, it's a compound system on this one as well. So it has one precision turbo, and we got another precision turbo that the first one is feeding into. Yeah, interesting. Here we can maybe see a bit better than the Supra how the exhaust on this one is going. Everything is coming here from the engine. We have an TurboSmart ProGate 60 here that can bypass this turbo, actually the smaller one. So yeah, I guess on a bit lower RPM, everything is going to this turbo, and exhaust, all of the exhaust here is going to the big turbo here with an billet housing here. Aluminum up pipe here looks like as well. So yeah, this one is for I guess getting a bit wider power range. I know some guys using the compound turbo to get a higher boost than it is possible with one turbo, because the efficiency of one compressor is only so much, so you can have 2 compressors. But yeah, many using these for making the power band a bit wider, and because of the engine here is so small one, 4-cylinder K24 maybe, K20 billet aluminum block, and also the head is a billet one. Looks like made by 4-piston. Also the body here is or the chassis is original steel but with reinforced, and here in the front we have a full drag race suspension here. And tank here in the bottom, what is this? Is it an fuel tank maybe? No intercooler on this one either, so they have this one two injectors, putting fuel or maybe methanol into the intake to cool the charge. Some more turbo spark blow off valves. This one has an O-ring popped out there, looks like. Don't think that is intentional, I don't know. I have to ask the guys. Here is the max solenoids that is controlling the wastegate that controls this compound turbo system or sequential turbo system. We got an Haltech ride height sensor with some buttons on, so it's fully adjustable there. More, we got a Haltech ignition coils, Gato intake manifold with a pressure sensor on there. Some guys are using remote sensors because they're vibrating so much, these 4-cylinder engines. So some have them on the intake, but they could die pretty quickly. So it's beneficial to have it remote mounted, the sensors. Really small cars, these Honda S2000s. Also got in this one the Nexus R5. Don't know so much about that ECU, but I think it's an ECU and a PDM all in one there actually. This one is cool. It's an Audi TT. It's 4-wheel drive, and the engine of this one, it is in full billet here, shining nice in the sun here. It's an VR6 engine. They're trying to get 6s. They are at 7.0 with this car and before, and yeah. So competing for the fastest like Audi 4-wheel drive in the world, I think. So yeah, it looks like in Liberty gearbox there, and the front differential is on the side here as well. So they had no problem with a fuel pump, so they're looking for a fuel pump, and these guys are actually from Austria. They have been here in US from this summer and doing some testing, and cool to have some European guys here in US. Yeah, we got the Austrian flag here as well. So yeah, hopefully they get everything sorted and can be out on the track again. Some sensor here as well on the side. Looks like it's a bit bent there, but I think it's working. Also here's some text on the fuel rail, which serial number I guess on the injectors there are in. And behind this one we have an 4-wheel drive unit, like a transfer case, and from this one we have an axle going forward here to the front wheels. beautiful black Corolla here in lines. Mike Capone. Looks like they have some of these carbon fiber outlets here in the cabin to do not get overpressure and pop the windows out. Even got the sunroof on these ones. Good for some fresh air. Here we have a Fox body Mustang with the beautiful engine bay here, going for inspection here. Beautiful polished turbo, looks like chromed. Even the exhaust housing is chromed on this one. The whole intake manifold is so shiny and nice. It's a billet one. We have some fuel tech injectors on here. 820 pounds each, and I could see it's even some injectors here in the charge tube from the turbo into the intake manifold, and these are for cooling the charge air, these extra ones. We have some precision wastegate and also an dump valve here. We got a fuel cell here and even some weights here for keeping the front down. We have some sensors for suspension travel, and here we can see the oil clear view filter. Interesting color there. A billet engine block here, and we can see in front of the engine here the belt drive for the camshaft, and some trigger sensor there as well. A dry sump on these ones, of course. So really nice belt. Will be interesting to see. And fuel tech on this one, and also it's on the 275 radials. So I think it's a category where everybody needs to run those tires. Mazda here, and this one got a rotary, but it's actually looking a little bit longer than most of the engines here. I think it's a 3 rotor, this one. It is 6 ignition coils, so and how many injectors, I don't know really. Huge turbo. have a blower car here with yeah, billet, big Hemi engine, billet cylinder heads as well, and yeah, the fuel system here, it has the hydroflow clamps holding it. So yeah, that's nice. I like these purple ones. Even here, these are for the crank ventilation going into the car or maybe into the chassis. Some sensors in these blocks, so it's kept away from the engine. Have ignition coils here, so it's no magneto on this one. But it is the mechanical fuel pump here. It looks like two fuel tanks here, left and right hand one. So yeah, the feed is in here in the bottom, so yeah, really big feed. Super dark, really shiny this one, so yeah, beautiful car. And I really like when the rear windows of cars are like concave instead of the normal one. Differential out here, and this car is a Nissan GTR. It claims that it's the fastest GTR in the world, but I don't know how much GTR. It's a full Pro Mod car with a blower. Big zoomies here, and yeah, nothing GTR left in this one. Still cool to have a GTR body instead of all the American bodies that usually on these kind of cars. It's the new car of I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, it's an old Corolla, was sold. Now this one is a bit longer, more made for drag racing, real drag racing chassis, but it's still the 2J that are under the hood here. Huge intake manifold here, and throttle body as well there. Bully intake manifold, splitted in half. Yeah, looks like the runners as well is splitted in half, upper and lower part here, and a really big water intercooler. So still intercooled, and yeah, some air here coming from this pipe, but it's big gap between there as well. So yeah, at I guess some lower speeds, it sucking most of the air from the sides. Dry sump tank here. They're running the race pack for data logging, and they are cast cylinder head on this one as well. So yeah, I think it's the Pro J intake manifold, and I'm not sure about the engine block. The engine block is TTR, as you can see, from Dubai actually. Looks like that. Small, strange carbon fiber brakes here. Beautiful Toyota Starlet. Big wheelie bars and really big tires. Looking good with this yellow Goodyear, and Dödsgrå, as we say in Sweden, death grey is the color, and not many stickers, so it's yeah, looking really cool. This one I'm pretty sure using an Rotor engine. No back seat here really. A lot of carbon fiber wheel tubs. Oh, nice. Gearbox there. Another Starlet here. This one also with some big carbon fiber wheelie bars and a big wing on this one. Air actuated parachutes. Goodyears on this one as well. And yeah, we have the downpipe here. I think it's almost touching the back. Drag Evos are always interesting, and yeah, serious builds here. Carbon fiber doors on this one, maybe an Evo 8 or 9, something like that. I'm working on the engine here. Yeah, the famous 4G63 engine. Got a front-mounted turbo there, and yeah, mechanical fuel pump here on the exhaust camshaft. Several big injectors there, Magnus intake. Got a Mitsubishi Eclipse here, also with a 4G63, I believe. 4-wheel drive this one as well, so it has the big slicks both front and rear. Is this also an Eagle Talon? It has the 4-wheel drive, 26, 8.5, 15s in the front, and the engine here, it's not an 4G63. Because yeah, the cam gears is on this side. This is the engine from the Evo 10 maybe. Oh, and gearbox looks like an, is it an automatic gearbox? Could be. Looks like Mitsubishi logo there, and the block is a billet block here. You can also see the copper head gasket there, and the cylinder head is yeah, the cast one. Nice exhaust manifold here, front mounted turbo. Intercooler is laying horizontal here, so all flat here. I don't know if it has any fans there maybe, but it also has a small radiator here, water radiator on this side. So I guess it's water in the head, maybe in the block as well, but not sure. We got a Camaro here, twin turbos in the front, but the charge pipes going here and into the car. So yeah, they have the intercooler tank here in the middle, inside the cabin, and charge pipe going out to the intake manifold here. Honda Civic, front-wheel drive, so yeah, really skinny rear tires here. Yo Viveros and wide front fenders, and yeah, beautiful looking engine here. Built intake manifold and cylinder head there. Still the cast block there, and yeah, the intercooler, this one as well, horizontal. So maybe they need to do it to put this big intercooler. It's huge actually. If they had it normal way, it will cover up the whole front. Also looks like a thick plate here, like yeah, 12mm or something plate here that keeps yeah, the weight on the front tires. So some special tricks to get these kind of cars to go fast. Honda Civic, front wheel drive one, big slicks here and tiny rear tires. It's actually an 8-valve V-Tech engine in this one. I don't know what these are called, B18 maybe? I don't know, Hondas. 2 injectors per cylinder, and yeah, a lot of crankcase ventilation here, or yeah. I think it's like 4 hoses going from the engine, so yeah, maybe some big blow by. Apex turbo here. Yeah, a bit special design of the compressor wheel here. Just a very, very small, tiny center nose cone there, and billet. Apex turbo. Billet end tanks on this intercooler here. Looks like more than 4-inch wide one. So the engine block, it's welded, reinforced. Cool. Not often you see that one on the engine block. It's an aluminum engine block, but it's reinforced. Yeah, cool. They have here some exhaust temperature sensors, and here we have a pickup and Chevy maybe, but the engine is a Honda engine, K24 maybe, K20. And yeah, billet block on this one as well. Yeah, so much billet pieces in the cars here at World Cup Finals. Billet. Intake manifold here as well. ATI crank dampener, billet front cover here, drag tail it says. When you removed all the front, it's easy to work on, and just in 4-cylinder, so it's easy to work on this one compared to some other V8s and stuff like that. Nissan GTR going for tech here, and yeah, beautiful engine this one. T1 engine built this one. It's a huge intercooler in this one. Wrinkle finish, everything here, even oil tank here, black wrinkle, looking good. And beautiful blue pieces here. We got an carbon fiber intake manifold. So on the oil return from the turbo, it's an, yeah, looks like a valve, you can close it. I wonder why they have that.
Right behind you,
Where's the pin for this car? Yeah.
Please clear the starting line. Need everyone off of the starting line, please. Please clear the starting line.
So here we have the Corvette kind of pro mod car that hit the wall yesterday. So let's see if we can see some damages of the car. Hopefully they can repair it so they can be out on the track again. Yeah, they are repairing the side here. So some tape and some tie wraps, also some glass fiber work here as well. So yeah, I hope they can fix it and be out on the track again. Door, just some small scratches, and exhaust, the zoom is here, got a bit hit here, but see they have some new pipes and cutter here, so maybe they will fix it in welding. And this car is a Pro Charger, huge Pro Charger there, feeding air through the fuel tank, looks like. And it's a Pro line engine in here with fuel injection. Fuel Tech, I believe. They actually have some composite kit here, carbon fiber, so they can repair the car back again. We got the rear axle here. It's very short axles in these ones, carbon fiber brakes, and also the drive shaft here. It's carbon fiber. Some very nice brackets here holding the rear, and also some NAS MS bolts, usually found in airplanes. On this one, fully adjustable, looks like here, so you can adjust everything, and even some different kind of sensors here, even a short sway bar here in the back. This one with the red. Also here on the GTR they have went over to the AM high output coils instead of the GTR coils. That is usually very good as well, but at these extreme horsepower numbers, they need to have a bit stronger ignition. Also here we have the famous Cletus McFarlane guys here with the El Camino with the SMX engine. I think they have new bigger turbos on there. We have also the very famous Corvette here with the body, everything removed from it. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys go. These front-wheel drive cars want to have as much weight in front of the front wheels, I guess, as possible. They have a big battery here, and also this plate here, like a splitter almost. It's gonna be 30 millimeters thick. It's over 1 inch thick, I guess. A lot of weight here in the front to get as much traction as possible. You have the billet block here, and it looks like also this one is repaired. One good thing with the billet blocks is that they're easier to weld than the normal cast blocks. We have some smaller injectors there, and then the big one with the solenoid on the side here. A bit special like this. We have seen like this are in some natural gas cars. They have this solenoid here, same like this. This one is a precision body here, so pattern it says. So it's aluminum body going like a normal injector, but the solenoid opening the flow is here on the side. Usually if you just have this one, it's terrible atomization, just some drips. We have an A90 Supra here. They are working on the cylinder head, maybe camshafts. I don't know if there's some problem, we'll see. Interesting with this one, it is that it has variable valve timing, both intake and exhaust, and also this mechanism here. It's the BMW's variable lift, so it has variable lift on the intake. Also you can see this special intake, the green one, it's aftermarket one. Pretty big green turbo here, and this one do not have an intercooler built in the intake as most other A90 Supra, so I guess it has in the front here one of the air-to-air intercoolers maybe. They're installing a tool here to I think maybe time the camshafts. They have the injectors and everything removed there. Here we see another A90 Supra. This one had turbo, big single turbo here, and the pipe is going directly to the intake manifold, electronic throttle body, and this is the intercooler that is directly here on the intake manifold. This one also has some nitrous, direct port nitrous. So this one is only injecting nitrous, and then the ECU, I guess, puts the fuel required for the nitrous there. These engines, not really in motorsport harness, looking really a lot of stock wires and cable protections and plastic. Not the nicest in my mind, but I think it's very cool that the guys are working with these new Supras and tune them. And gearbox, by the way, it's an automatic gearbox, or it's an HAP gearbox. That many guys in Sweden are putting those gearboxes into other cars. That 8 HP is in many different kind of cars. Let's see. Plastic valve cover, and it's direct injection on these engines, and also I think it's port injection. At least they have a port injection in this one. Carbon fiber Evo here with the 4G63. And of course, if you drive the Evos on a drag strip, you always need to have like differentials and driveline components. Titanium is shining nice here in the sun.
Coming through, actually not on the mound. That's a good job having truck work named Top Rock. You need to have the truck head on the back of your RV campaign.
One thing is that nobody is using electronic throttle bodies. Some in Europe are using that one, even in the drag racing, but I think there's a rule that they are afraid of electric throttle bodies because they can jam or something like that, but I think that is stupid. So yeah, many have wires, and this one had a rod here, so it is a rod going all the way to throttle body to the pedal, I guess, there. So exhaust manifold on this one, it's two of these, two into the turbo there. They have some slip joints here with some bolts, keeping these ones together so it can move a little bit. As you can see also, the cylinder head, it is filled with epoxy or concrete, engine concrete maybe. Huge precision turbo. In this one we have a speed sensor, this small sensor, so you can see the speed of the turbo, if it's overspinning or not. Next to this one we have the intercooler, and on this one it is an Turbo Smart, looks like an electronic wastegate, but it's one of those new ones, I think, with a butterfly valve inside. So this one I think is used for spool valve to open when they're not reached the boost yet, to bleed off some air. Actually, the engine package is looking almost the same here in this Corolla car, tour car, with same kind of exhaust manifold here. Really long runners here going to the turbo. We have some boost valves and some wide vinyl electronics here on the firewall. many of these cars that use the Rotor engine are using the Microtech. I think Microtech is from Australia actually, but interesting. And also they use the AMS 1000 controller for the boost, so it's not a built-in boost controller. Also looks like the Microtech have an own dash there as well, with the Liberty gearbox. And yeah, the gearbox of these ones is probably bigger, together with the titanium there shield. I guess it's bigger than the engine actually. This Nissan 370C, I think, the G-Force transmission, but yeah, the engine here is actually a Nissan engine as well. Don't know how much still of Nissan, because all the billet block here, billet intake manifold, and yeah, it's an RB26 looks like this engine. So yeah, that's cool with the car 6-cylinder without the 2J actually. Really nice piece here. Here they got a big turbo, and they have an air sensor, intake air sensor, looks like directly here on the intake of the turbo. Another rotor out. And they're splitting the engine here now, and these bolts you can see here, they goes actually through the whole engine. It's a lot of bolts here, so I'm not sure if there was some extra. They had a tire shake, so they think they have damaged the engine because of that. So yeah, they opening the engine up and see if they can repair it. They didn't have a spare engine for this one, but they have a lot of spare parts. This Camaro is in the stick shift category as well. It's using an yeah, pretty old, I think, LT engine. I got a spare here, and yeah, they're working on the gearbox after the first California class. So maybe some problem there. I see also they have some gears here, and yeah, they're not fully straight cut gears as well. Yes, it's the T56 transmission. GTR was really fast, and yeah, when it was pulling the chute, I think it got broken off, the whole bar, everything here from the car. So,
Oh wait, no, these are all cab.
Yep, real fast one. Twin front-mounted turbos there, and yeah, these brakes had to work hard. I managed to stop the car, I think. Only some smaller damage maybe. We got another Evo here, carbon fiber, and a beautiful engine bay on this one. 4G63 with yeah, a lot of polished and chromed stuff, and even the block is billet polished one. Magnus Motorsport intake manifold there. Mechanical fuel pump. Apex turbo. Between runs, of course, they are checking the logs, and yeah, even putting out the logs on a big TV so you can see what's really happening there. So just a short while later, the new engine is in here. So yeah, good work, a team. Eclipse, I think, here, and yeah, carbon fiber here in the front, and yeah, stick shift on this one as well. Very cool. Beautiful exhaust manifold here. I think it's some kind of coating, goldish here. Really nice. And yeah, one good thing is that they all have like a pan here in the bottom with some absorbent mats there. So if something breaks, hopefully it will not be any oil spill on the track. So that's a good thing. We have the cast iron block here as well. But it looks like copper head gasket.
Short time there for a liner. And about 884 with a 5 there for Venezuela, 171 above the sheet.
Interior here, and yeah, we got a manual shifter here, and also you can see and hydraulic handbrake, same like in drifting and rally cars, but I think they're actually using this to tension the drive line off the line. So they are holding the handbrake, have the first gear in, and with the clutch foot there, they maybe hold it a little bit against the brakes, and then they release it just at the launch. Also, as in these manual cars, you see the number 3 button there is the slipper valve. So yeah, that's the important thing to use for these manual cars to get them consistent off the line and a little bit of slip. But the clutch needs to hold that slip also, so it needs to be a pretty strong clutch. To save some weight, most of the drag cars have drag brakes like these, very lightweight, good for one braking I think, but not much more, so not for a track. But yeah, most of the cars also have the parachutes, of course, in the back. But as we saw yesterday, the GTR was not, he broke off the parachutes, so the brakes had to work good. Some cars have the carbon fiber brakes, but these ones have the steel ones, the brake man. So yeah, I think there is some drag racing brands of braking there. It's he thinks it's about 1600 horsepower in these ones, and yeah, it's a PPG gear set in the gearbox here. But the casing is still the original in these ones. One little detail, we have the oil dipstick here, but it's locked with an yeah, small clip there. So if you get high pressure, crankcase pressure, or break something, it will not pop the stick out. That's a safety thing. Also, I know on some different cars they use like a HKS timing belt, but this one is an Mitsubishi one, and I always had the original timing belt on the Supra. White Supra, beautiful engine here. Complete front clip of the Supra, but I like that it still have the original headlights there, and like an RMM front clip there, carbon fiber one, but yeah, everything is bolted together here to one complete front clip. MK4 Supra with a big C turbo here, where the original intercooler is placed in the Supra. Apex turbo here, really big one. I have not seen this Apex turbo much before. Many of the cars here are using these Apex turbos, so yeah, that's cool. Looks like an two rotor. Very nice Gato intake manifold here. And Engine Bay is not that big of these Starlets, but Rotary fits very nice. Billet bearing housings here as well. Another team here swapping engines. I can see that's an spare here, and yeah, huge Garrett turbo. Still here on the car, not good. Yeah, so this is the new engine going in here.
How many of you have been to all 27 of them?
Many of the guys are filling up their intercoolers with ice, so they have some ice here to fill the intercooler tank, I believe, before they go. Here they have the GT86 that called the Vecna. And yeah, it's running 2J. Now I think it had over 250 miles per hour in first pass here today in speed. So yeah, over 400 kilometers per hour in kilometers. One thing I've seen that many of the cars are, they have like an inlet pipe going through the body, but then they also have yeah, a gap between the turbo and the piping here as well. Nice exhaust manifold here with 3 cylinders going together, and yeah, pretty long runner from there to the collector, and then a 90-degree bend with a wastegate here directly in the dynamic pressure. Normal Bosch exhaust lambda sensor. Nice welding and bracket over here. Looks like they have the gearbox down. We got a bell housing here, titanium one, and yeah, clutch is out there as well.
We got one carbon number 6 qualifier,
Fuel Tech.
195. And whoa, got sideways, front matter of it.
Cool with this all black livery, not too many stickers. I think it's Laser George owning this one. And many cars, even though they're running on methanol, are using an air to water intercooler. They're using an intercooler. So yeah, that's a couple of years ago I thought many cars were not using intercoolers, but now they're moved back to it again. It's maybe benefits to have an intercooler. expert intake
Today we'll begin great day race
manifold intake plenum. I think this car is operated by Titan Motorsports right here. So yeah, it's of course a Titan engine block by expert. Looks like the gearbox is apart. And yeah, here they have the machine to machine the clutch between the rounds as well. So, yeah. Liberty gears. Maybe it's a magnesium housing when it's dark like this, I guess so. And here we have the clutches. It's Ace clutches. And yep, there is the clutch, the pressure plate. It has some weights on here. It's different on the different. I don't know anything about these slipper clutch really, but yeah, some have more weight. You can see some extra nuts on them, and then they have some floaters between here. 3 floaters that they machine between there. Also, they have a copper gasket here, so maybe, I don't know if they're going to change the gasket or something. We'll see. They have the air here on the front, and these are titanium pipes, but it goes in here, so you can, I think, actually adjust a little bit how the height you want to have the nose of the car. Viper here, wonder what engine? Oh, it got an SMX engine in this one. Oh, V8, full billet. Really cool. It's yeah, these kind of engines that Cletus McFarlane has in the El Camino right now, and yeah, Bailey is running these. And oh, it's not a V10, but a really cool engine anyway. Carbon fiber here front. And this is actually a bit cool. It looks like Sumisar, 4 of them going out here, but 1 is from the wastegate and 3 is here from the turbo. So yeah, it's a bit special. I don't know, maybe fooling somebody. Cool. Precision turbos. And looks like no water in this one. It is some connections here to put some water in, I think, but no, not in this one. Some carbon fiber, but the doors are aluminum, re-welded there. Got an automatic transmission, read there. And yeah, looking cozy, very fresh here inside, and big tubs here in the back for the rear wheels. So not much left of the wiper, but yeah, still some rubber trims here as well. So. I believe is the second fastest 4-cylinder in the world. This one is fully built.
Look at that thing.
Too cold, or we can forecast. If cleanup persists, we'll let you know if the last class, we're going to park it and then resume tomorrow. So we're going to keep running through the run order. We still got to get done tonight. If it's going to get too cold, we have to stop. The hour temperature dropping by the hour. And we're going to have more classes until the finish of the third section. I want to go ahead and get that fuel was slow. Down part, we're going to get pushed off.
Here we have some aluminium connecting rods from R&R Racing Products. So they have a lot of different engines here, and yeah, looks like they're really beefy. And we have the 2JK24, a lot of different engines. We have also the top fuel rod here on this side. Nissan GTR, like Tommy, it's an aircraft engine, that one actually. And if we can compare this one, this is the top fuel one, compare it to the 2J one next to it. Yeah, the top fuel one is huge, but very lightweight actually to be an connecting rod, aluminum. But all aluminum connecting rods have a lifespan. Steel rods, if you're going up to a certain degree, they will never break. But an aluminum rod, even how little you will stress this rod, it will break at some time. But yeah, in drag racing it's a lot of stress on these, so yeah, they will break on, it's hard to say, but one important thing is to get them really hot, so they're not too cold when using them, but also they're counting how many passes they're using on the rods, and yeah, they replaced them before because they are going to break. Supra. They're doing the technical here of the car right now. So yeah, I think they're checking the turbo size. A90 Supra here with a parachute, and yeah, all of the interior is removed, looks like. Yeah, it still has the dash and everything here in the middle, but yeah, intercooler tank I think here in the back, and yeah, racing steering wheel there. They check the turbo size, big single turbo here, so they have to remove the compressor cover. We have an intercooler here, and yeah, it's original and intercooler here on the intake as well, but this one is an aftermarket one in aluminum.
Yeah, 68.
And you can see here the BMW throttle body, because yeah, almost everything is BMW in these ones, but I think they're looking good, these A90 Supras.